All right. How to understand Venus in Aries. So, um, I did Venus in Virgo. I did Venus in Scorpio. How to understand the Venus in Aries placement. So, like I've been saying in my two other videos, what you have here is in tropical astrology, Venus represents love, the finer things in life, beauty, art, certain foods, right? Um, Gourmet meals because it looks beautiful. The modeling industry, Venus represents so many different things, right? And all of that is good, but in the modern day context, Venus may not necessarily be cut out to what it's supposed to be, because over in Vedic astrology or Eastern astrology, right? Aries in Virgo, Aries in Aries, excuse me, Venus in Virgo, Venus in Aries, Venus in Scorpio, and Venus in Capricorn may, even though they may be um, detriment or detrimental in a person's chart, regardless of who you are, in tropical astrology, aka Western astrology, in Eastern astrology, these are actually exaltations. And the reason why they're exaltations, right, is first and foremost, you want to be able to study all of it so that you can get a better understanding of the different perspectives, right? You shouldn't just want to get one perspective. And the reason why, and this is very important, is because if you are looking for love, right, and a lot of people are, then if you have a Venus in Pisces, which is an exaltation, it should be easy for you, right? If you have a Venus in Libra, Venus in Taurus, pretty much all other zodiac signs, except for if Venus is in Aries, Virgo, Capricorn, or Scorpio, you should be good. Aquarius, you should be good, right? So, why is it that when those placements are in those houses or in those zodiac signs or in those houses that the zodiac sign would naturally rule over, why is it so hard for so many people to actually find, attain it, meaning get it, and maintain it, meaning to hold on to it, right? The reason why is because in tropical astrology, they may not tell you, but in Eastern astrology, they will tell you that or you will understand, you will come to understand that the reason why is because in tropical they're implying that it should be easy, but in tropical what it's saying is most people don't know what love is. And it's very true. This is why it is that you starting to, not starting to, but this is why you've been seeing over the past couple of years that social media has taken over our lives, so many people's lives. And it's about it's about charging and trying to become the bb, trying to become the most beautiful person physically, outwardly, but internally there's nothing there, or you're ugly internally. And the bbls and all of the all of the hypergamy, all of, you got to be the type of person that's 6 feet tall, and you got to be rich and this, that, and the third, and the finest person that I can get. All of that stuff is not even real. It's not even, all of that stuff is illusionary. And this is part of the reason why it is that Venus in Pisces is an exaltation, is because the Venus energy over here, when it comes to, when you look at it from a tropical or Western perspective, is an illusionary perspective. This is why it is I've said that Venus, right? If you actually understand the mythology of Aphrodite or Venus, right, the symbol of love, right, or the spiritual entity of love, right, the so-called goddess of love, um, Aphrodite or Venus is actually a trickster figure like Virgo is or Mercury is. you know, is there actually a trickster figure, right? Venus is a trickster figure because Venus would go around, or Aphrodite, or love, right? The goddess of love would go around casting her spells, casting her magic, making mortal enemies, people who didn't get along with each other, actually fall in love. But then when she turned off the spell, or she, retracted the spell that she casted, they will go right back to being mortal enemies again. And it goes to show you what it is I was saying is true. That a lot of the things that people think is love and what they're looking for is actually delusional. And in Vedic astrology or Eastern astrology, this shows you the truth of the situation. That most people are really hung up on the illusion of what love is, as opposed to what it actually is. Now, what does this have to do with Venus and Aries, right? Because, like I said before, Venus in Aries, Venus in Scorpio, Venus in Virgo, Venus in Capricorn, or if you have those same, uh, if you have Venus in whatever zodiac sign, even if it may go well with Venus, but it's in any one of those houses, the first house, the eighth house, the sixth house, or the 10th house, it's still going to be a problem because it's still like having those types. It's still like having Venus in those zodiac signs anyway. Take me, for instance. I have Venus in Leo, which is one of the best placements for Venus to be. However, I have Venus in Leo in my sixth house. So it's still like having Venus in Virgo anyway. And then I have my Mars in Virgo in the seventh house, which is where naturally Libra will rule over. But Mars is there, which is the exact opposite or opposition of Venus, which is Mars anyway. So people who have these placements, it's honestly a gift because where a lot of people are getting caught up in the trappings of love, people who have those placements or other placements but happen to be in those houses is actually really a gift because you know what love is. You know what love is not. You understand love for what it is. You're not getting caught up in the illusionary aspect of what love is. You're not getting caught up with the Valentine's Day hype. You're not getting caught up with. So specifically for Aries, Aries, Aries is the type of person that ultimately, Aries is the type of person that ultimately, because they are ruled by Mars, right, or this type of energy, right, which naturally opposes Venus, a Venus and Aries person will be there for you through thick and thin. They are a person with this placement is notoriously, when they love you, they will go through some of the worst times of your life. They will be there with you, alongside you, fighting for your benefit as an ally. They are hopeless romantics. A Venus and Aries person does tend to be very hyperactive when it comes to the intimacy aspect, but you have to teach them how to slow down and how to enjoy themselves and how not to get themselves so caught up with the excitement of that type of intimacy in the first place, because Aries rules over, doing that fast and hard. It's Aries, right? Right? Enthusiasm. But the Aries will give you a lot of good loving, a lot of that. Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, a lot of intimacy. Aries, Scorpio, Leo, and Gemini are the most physically intimate zodiac signs, statistically, right? On paper, right? There are other zodiac signs that give them competition, like Cancer and Pisces, but statistically on paper, right? Normally, right? So For a person who has this placement here, these are the type of people who want that type of loving. Physical touch is one of their love languages. Personally, I don't understand why we don't implement all of the love languages to everybody who are in relationships specifically, because I don't think that you should be picking one thing over the other. But okay, because why can't you tell the person that you love them? Why can't you tell the person that you admire them? Why can't you touch them? Why can't you, give them a couple of things? You ain't got to go out spending your money, willy nilly, but why can't you give them a couple of things that are cute? Get them to remind you of them, or things that remind them of you, right? But regardless of the who or the what, the point is that a Venus and Aries person is also enthusiastic to live life. They are some of the most upbeat people that you will ever meet. The never surrender mentality. These are the type of people who are good for people who are Debbie Downers. People who are These are the type of people who really would be good for people who give up easily. Because see, a Venus and Aries person is the type of person who goes through a lot of stuff. They lived through a lot of stuff. They had to fight to get to the point where they are. And now that they're in a relationship with you, they want to make sure that you have a fighting spirit just like they do. And the two of you take on the world. That expression of it's you and me against the world, that's Venus and Aries.